Imagine closing your eyes tonight, trusting the pillow beneath you while a silent danger lurks, ready to strike the very organ that makes you who you are. You drift into sleep, unaware that the way you lie down could be setting the stage for a stroke while you dream. I'm Dr. Carla Mendez, board-certified neurologist, and what I'm about to reveal has left even my most seasoned colleagues stunned. In the next few minutes, I'll explain the single sleeping posture that can triple the risk of an overnight stroke, why it happens, and exactly what you can do right now to protect your brain. Think back to the last night you fell asleep. Did you roll onto your back, perhaps propping your head up with an extra pillow? Or did you curl on your side, tucking a blanket around you like a cocoon? Most of us assume that any comfortable position is safe, but the truth is far more unsettling. A quiet, seemingly harmless tilt of the neck can compress the carotid arteries, the main highways that deliver oxygen-rich blood to the brain. When those vessels are squeezed, blood flow drops, intracranial pressure rises, and a cascade of events can lead to a silent, sometimes fatal, clot forming in the shadows of the night. Last year, a 72-year-old gentleman arrived at my clinic after a routine checkup revealed a silent stroke, no obvious weakness, no speech difficulties, just a small area of dead tissue on his scan. He told me he had been sleeping on his back with his head tilted upward for months, convinced it helped his breathing. That simple habit was the hidden trigger that set his brain on a dangerous path. Why does a modest change in posture have such a powerful effect? The answer lies in the delicate balance of blood flow, pressure, and the anatomy of the neck. Here's the roadmap for today's journey. First, we'll uncover the hidden mechanics of sleep posture and how they influence the brain's blood supply. Next, we'll dive into the 3 danger zones you must avoid, each explained in plain language but grounded in solid science. Then I'll give you step-by-step instructions you can apply tonight without expensive equipment or a medical degree. Finally, I'll share real-world stories of people who transformed their sleep and dramatically reduced their stroke risk. Stay with me, because each piece of this puzzle is a crucial step towards safeguarding the most important organ you own. Before we begin, if this information is already opening your eyes to something you never considered, give this video a like. Your feedback tells the algorithm that we're delivering value, and it helps others discover this vital knowledge. And if you're ready to dive deeper into the science of a healthy brain, consider subscribing and ringing the bell. There's a free sleep position checklist waiting for you in the description, ready to guide you tonight. Let's start with the first danger zone, the supine slip. Picture yourself lying on your back, head propped up on a thick pillow or a stack of cushions. This seems natural, especially for those who suffer from snoring or mild sleep apnea, but the extra elevation forces the neck into hyperextension. In that position, the carotid arteries, which run on either side of the neck, are pressed against the vertebral bodies. Think of the arteries as flexible garden hoses. When you bend the hose too sharply, the water flow is restricted. The same principle applies to blood rushing to the brain. When the flow is compromised, the brain's posterior circulation, responsible for the cerebellum and brainstem, receives less oxygen. Over the course of a night, this reduced supply can trigger microischemic events, tiny areas of tissue that begin to die without obvious symptoms. Why does this matter beyond the abstract? Research shows that individuals who habitually sleep with the head elevated more than 2 inches experience a measurable increase in intracranial pressure and a corresponding rise in the formation of small clots in the carotid arteries. Those clots can travel silently into the brain, causing what we call a silent stroke damage that often goes unnoticed until a later scan reveals it. The scary part is that many of these silent strokes accumulate over time, contributing to cognitive decline, memory loss, and even dementia. Now that we understand the risk, let's talk about the practical solution. The first step is to assess your current pillow setup. If you're using more than 1 pillow to keep your head raised, replace them with a single medium firm pillow that supports the natural curvature of your neck without forcing it forward. The goal is to keep the head in a neutral position. Imagine a straight line from the ears through the shoulders. If you need extra support for breathing, consider a low-profile wedge that tilts the upper body slightly rather than stocking pillows under the head. This adjustment reduces pressure on the carotid arteries while still addressing any breathing concerns. Second, try a side sleeping position with a pillow placed in front of you, hugging it gently. This helps keep the spine aligned and prevents the neck from rotating excessively, which can also compress blood vessels. If you're a stomach sleeper, know that this posture can twist the neck and spine in ways that increase intracranial pressure. Shifting to a side or back position with proper pillow support is a safer alternative. Finally, incorporate a brief pre-sleep routine to reinforce the new habit. Before turning off the lights, spend a minute checking the alignment of your head and neck, ensuring your pillow sits level with your shoulders. A quick visual cue can cement the habit, making it automatic night after night. Think about how simple these changes are. No costly devices, no medication, just a mindful adjustment to something you do every night. If you've tried any of these tips before, share your experience in the comments. I'd love to hear what worked for you. And if you're just learning about the supine slip, give this video a thumbs up to let me know it resonated. We've uncovered the first hidden danger, but there are 2 more critical zones that can silently sabotage your brain health. Stay tuned because the next posture is one you might never suspect, and the solution is equally straightforward. Together, we'll map out the full picture, empowering you to sleep safely and wake up with a brain that's protected from the hidden threats lurking in the night. The next hidden danger appears when you turn onto your side and let the head drift forward, a habit we'll call the lateral lean. In many households, a pillow is placed behind the back to keep the spine from rolling onto the stomach, but the same pillow often ends up supporting the head at an angle that forces the neck to bend laterally. When the cervical vertebrae rotate, the vertebral arteries that travel through the neck become partially compressed. Those vessels are responsible for delivering oxygen-rich blood to the brainstem and the posterior parts of the cerebrum, regions that control vital functions such as breathing and balance. A subtle chronic reduction in flow can quietly set the stage for a small silent clot that may evolve into a full-blown stroke while you are dreaming. Why does a simple sideways tilt matter so much? Think of the vertebral artery as a garden hose. When you bend the hose sharply, the water pressure drops and the flow becomes turbulent. In the same way, a twisted neck creates turbulent blood flow, increasing the chances that tiny platelets will cling together and form a clot. Moreover, the altered angle can raise intracranial pressure because the venous drainage pathways are partially blocked, creating a backup of blood that further strains the delicate vessels. Here is a straightforward, actionable fix. First, select a pillow that is firm enough to keep your head aligned with your spine, but thin enough to avoid pushing the chin forward. A medium, soft, contoured pillow works well because it cradles the head without forcing a bend. Second, place a small rolled-up towel or a specialized body pillow behind your back. This prop prevents you from rolling onto your stomach while keeping the shoulders level, which in turn keeps the neck in a neutral, straight position. Third, before you settle in, perform a quick spine check. Feel the line from the ears down to the shoulders. It should feel like a straight, unbroken line. If you notice any forward tilt, adjust the pillow or the towel until the line is level. Finally, practice a gentle neck stretch routine each night after you brush your teeth. Tilt the head slowly to each side for 5 seconds, then bring it back to center. This short habit keeps the muscles supple and discourages the neck from locking into an awkward angle during sleep. If you have been a lifelong side sleeper, you may worry that changing this habit will feel uncomfortable. In my experience, most patients notice an improvement in neck comfort within a few nights, and the reduction in morning stiffness is a clear sign that the brain is receiving steadier blood flow. If you have already tried a different pillow and still feel tension, consider the height of the mattress itself. A mattress that is too soft allows the body to sink, causing the hips to drop and the spine to curve excessively. This curvature can indirectly tug on the neck, leading again to vertebral artery compression. A mattress with a medium firm feel provides the necessary support to keep the spine in a neutral alignment, reducing the cascade of stress on the neck vessels. Now let us move to the third perilous posture, the stomach crush. Many people assume that lying flat on the belly is the most relaxed way to drift off, yet this position forces the neck into extreme extension. When the head is turned to one side for breathing, the carotid artery on the opposite side is twisted, while the jugular vein on the same side is partially occluded. This combination creates a perfect storm. Arterial inflow is reduced, venous outflow is impeded, and the resulting pressure differential can cause a sudden spike in intracranial pressure. Over time, this repeated pressure surge can weaken the arterial walls, making them more susceptible to rupture or to the formation of microaneurysms, both of which are precursors to stroke. What is the biology behind this? The brain is a delicate organ that lives inside a sealed container. Any increase in pressure inside that container must be balanced by an equal outflow of blood and cerebrospinal fluid. When you lie on your stomach, the pressure on the front of the neck squeezes the venous channels, acting like a dam. Meanwhile, the arterial side is forced to work harder to push blood through a narrowed route. The resulting mismatch can cause tiny silent bleeds in the brain tissue that accumulate over months, eroding the protective barrier that keeps the brain safe. The remedy is both simple and surprisingly gentle. Begin by placing a thin pillow or a folded towel under the hips. This subtle lift encourages the lower back to maintain its natural curve, reducing the tendency to roll onto the stomach. Next, transition gradually to a side-lying position using a sleep hug. Hold a pillow against the chest, mimicking the comfort of a stomach position while keeping the spine straight. If you find it difficult to stay on your side, try a small pillow between the knees. This alignment cue stabilizes the hips and discourages rolling. Finally, incorporate a brief neck neutralization exercise just before lights out. While seated, bring the chin to the chest, then slowly lift the head back to a neutral flat position, feeling the stretch across the front of the neck. Hold for a few seconds, then repeat 3 times. This routine loosens the tightened neck muscles and trains the body to seek a more neutral posture during sleep. Many patients who have adopted these adjustments report a noticeable reduction in morning headaches and a feeling of mental clarity throughout the day. The brain, having received more consistent oxygen and waste clearance, simply functions better. If you have tried any of these strategies before, share your results in the comments. Your experience could help someone else make the switch. We have now explored 3 of the 4 critical zones that silently jeopardize brain health while you rest. The final zone, perhaps the most overlooked, involves the interaction between pillow height, sleep surface firmness, and obstructive sleep apnea, a condition that dramatically raises the likelihood of a stroke during the night. Obstructive sleep apnea occurs when the airway collapses intermittently during breathing, causing brief pauses that last from a few seconds to over half a minute. Each pause triggers a surge of sympathetic nervous activity, raising blood pressure and heart rate in a frantic response to restore oxygen. Over the course of a night, these repeated spikes act like a hammer on the vascular system, weakening arterial walls and promoting clot formation. The risk is especially pronounced in older adults whose vessels are already less elastic. Why does pillow height matter? When the pillow is too thick, it forces the head forward, narrowing the airway at the level of the soft palate and the tongue. Conversely, a pillow that is too low allows the head to fall backward, also narrowing the airway by pushing the tongue toward the posterior pharynx. The sweet spot is a pillow that keeps the head in a neutral position, aligning the spine and preserving the airway's natural diameter. In addition, a pillow made of breathable material reduces heat buildup, which can exacerbate airway collapse. The firmness of the mattress plays an equally important role. A mattress that is too soft allows the body to sink, causing the hips and shoulders to drop, which in turn creates a slight tilt of the torso that can compress the airway. A firm yet responsive surface supports the body evenly, preventing excessive sagging and maintaining a stable spine alignment. For those who already suffer from diagnosed sleep apnea, a mattress with a medium firm feel combined with a specially designed cervical pillow can dramatically reduce the frequency of apneic events. Here is a practical step-by-step plan to neutralize this 4th danger. First, assess your current pillow by lying on your back with a book placed on top of your head. If the book falls forward or backward, the pillow is either too high or too low. Adjust by adding or removing a thin pillow insert until the book stays level. Second, evaluate your mattress by placing a hand under the lower back while lying on your side. You should feel slight, comfortable support without a deep dip. If you feel a pronounced hollow, consider a mattress topper that adds a modest layer of firmness. Third, adopt a side sleep with slight elevation technique. Place a small pillow or wedge under the upper torso to keep the head and chest slightly elevated, which opens the airway without forcing the neck into extension. Fourth, integrate a nightly breathing exercise. After you turn off the lights, inhale slowly through the nose for 4 counts, hold for 7 counts, and exhale gently through the mouth for 8 counts. This rhythmic pattern helps maintain airway patency and reduces the likelihood of a collapse during the first half of the night when most apneic events occur. If you have tried any of these adjustments and noticed a difference in how rested you feel in the morning, please let us know in the comments. Your feedback not only validates the science, but also encourages others to take action. And if you are just learning about the subtle interplay between pillow height, mattress firmness, and sleep-related stroke risk, a quick thumbs up lets me know this information resonated with you. Now that we have mapped all 4 hidden zones, supine slip, lateral lean, stomach crush, and airway compression, let us briefly recap the essential takeaways. First, keep the head in a neutral alignment, avoiding forward thrust or excessive tilt. Second, support the neck with a medium soft contoured pillow and use a low profile wedge if breathing concerns arise. Third, maintain side sleeping as the default position using a rolled up towel or body pillow to prevent rolling onto the stomach, and perform nightly spine checks. Fourth, choose a mattress that offers medium firm support and a pillow that preserves airway openness, complementing the routine with simple breathing exercises. By integrating these 4 adjustments into your nightly routine, you dramatically lower the odds of experiencing an overnight stroke, especially as you age. The brain is remarkably resilient, but it thrives on consistent, uninterrupted blood flow and proper waste clearance, both of which are compromised by poor sleep posture. Small, mindful changes to the way you arrange your sleep environment can yield a profound impact on long-term neurological health. Before we close, I want to leave you with a final thought. Imagine waking each morning feeling refreshed, your mind clear, and your heart steady, knowing that the simple act of lying down has become a protective ritual rather than a hidden hazard. This vision is within reach for every viewer, regardless of age or current sleep habits. The power to safeguard your brain lies in the choices you make tonight. If you found this deep dive valuable, consider sharing the video with family members or friends who might benefit from a safer sleep posture. Together, we can spread awareness and help more people avoid the silent threat that lurks in the night. And of course, if you want to stay updated on future health insights, feel free to subscribe and tap the notification bell. I'll continue to bring you evidence-based strategies that empower you to live a healthier, more vibrant life. Thank you for watching, and sleep well, knowing that you are actively protecting your most vital organ.